Hello, you're listening to Hugo Talks. Okay, I'm not going to be talking about any of this Queen, Charles stuff. The media have gone, as I predicted, completely insane over it. Although I do have a video coming up about Charles and the dodgy people he is connected to that I'm going to do. But here in this video, we see, now this is a few days old, but once again we see this controlling beast system being put into place. New World Order coming into play, creeping into everyone's life. And as I've said, this is a system that is going to sink, is going to crash, and you need to detach yourself as much as you can from it, or at least start planning to move away from it, little by little. Here we see Australia, which is of course one of the major Commonwealth countries that Dragon Boy Charles is now king of. All of these main Commonwealth countries, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, those ones in particular are really, going fast forward with their dehumanization policies. Here we see a school in Australia. They want to scan the fingerprints of children at the school so that they can use the toilet. Yeah, the toilet. Here's the clip.
While students have been getting creative with the Sharpie in the school toilets for generations, a school in Sydney Southwest has come up with a controversial way to tackle vandalism. Moorebank High has introduced technology to scan students' fingerprints when they want to use the facilities, leaving parents concerned.
Right, first off, these dungheads say that it's about vandalism. Like vandalism is such a big problem that they have to spend a fortune on this technology. Utter crap. They are so full of it. If you can scan someone's fingerprints, how would that make any difference? How would you know who did the vandalism? I mean, vandalism in a toilet would usually be in a cubicle, right? So how would they know, fingerprints or not? Unless you've got cameras in the children's toilet cubicles. It wouldn't surprise me. Bunch of freaks.
At most schools, you'd expect to find some artwork on the back of a toilet door. But at Moorebank High, Big Brother is watching. The school has installed touchpads to scan students' fingerprints when they need to use the bathroom during class.
They're trying to do their best to keep them safe. And I think there's nothing wrong with it.
Where did they get him from? To keep them safe? I thought it was to stop vandalism. Clowns and crisis actors abound.
The biometric technology was offered to the school by the Education Department to stop vandalism and antisocial behaviour in the school toilets. Julia Scatella is on the school's community focus group. She says it's about making students feel safe.
The state of the bathrooms, you can't use them. You can't use a bathroom that is covered in urine and faeces.
Hold on, I'm confused. These news shows and their propaganda, they can't work out what they're saying, can they? You can't use a bathroom. You can't use a bathroom, she says, that is covered in urine and faeces. Who are using these toilets? Baboons? Kangaroos? Is it a zoo? What's this got to do with scanning fingerprints and safety?
A bathroom that is covered in urine and faeces.
But not all parents are happy about it.
I rang straight away and told them, delete my daughter's fingerprint. She's not a criminal. You've taken my parents' rights away.
We haven't had any sort of information what's going to happen and asking parents to give permission.
Privacy experts are also concerned about the use of biometric data.
Because it's innately tied to our physical bodies, it's not something that you can readily change. If anything goes wrong with this information, then it can put these students at risk.
Moorebank is not the first New South Wales school to use the technology. Other state schools have been scanning students' fingerprints to monitor attendance for years. In a statement, the Education Department said the use of this system is not compulsory. If students or parents prefer, students can also access the toilets by obtaining an access card from the office.
When did you find out about that they were going? This morning in the news.
Now, this isn't anything new. I can remember them doing fingerprint scanning for children in the UK to pay for school lunches or something like that a while back now. And a lot of those children, they just got their fingerprints off them without really asking the parent, if memory serves me correct. And as you can see, as with much of what is going on these days, it's not compulsory. They may make it sound like it's compulsory. They may attempt to make you feel uncomfortable for not going along with whatever they are planning. but it's not compulsory. These people, they want you to accept it. They want you to comply with trapping yourself. That's the way they seem to do it. It's like they have to coerce your approval, you know? You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Take them out of the schools. I mean, eventually, you know, you're going to need to disengage from the system, I reckon. You know, it's difficult, I know. I mean, you can stand up against it. In a situation like this with the schools, I mean, we've seen recently in the UK a school attempting to introduce a no contact rule. Pupils not allowed to sit close to one another. No handshakes, no hugs. I did a video on this and the school got tons of complaints from people and parents of the school, and they completely backtracked a few days later. So if people unite and stand against these things, then they do backtrack. But at the same time, you know, this is going on everywhere. Every day there are news stories like, what is it today? Audi have now opened up the first no cash shop. I mean, you know, just a quick scan through the news topics over the last few days. We've got Companies House introducing a digital ID system. We've got all these stories about facial recognition systems sprouting up all over the place. Everywhere they are pushing cashless payments, scan and go. Every country seems to be doing the same. And this is the beast system. And it's going to crash and burn. It's going to sink like the Titanic. And we're not sitting on the top of the Titanic, you know. We are not in the nice quarters. We are the third class citizens at the bottom of the ship. And you don't want to get locked in there when it starts to sink, okay? So best make your way off of it now. So, you know, you have this line in the book of Revelation, okay? And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye not receive not of her plagues." Okay, now this line is to do with Babylon in the end days. It's referencing an evil world system associated with the Antichrist of the end times, which of course many people reference as to what is happening now. Yeah, the New World Order, the Great Reset. This is your one world government, your one world religion, your one world currency, which they are clearly aiming to go towards. And this line in the book of Revelation is basically a warning to God's people to come out of her, which I believe means to disassociate from Babylon the Great, the New World Order. Disassociate because it's all going to go badly wrong. They must come out of her. Revelation 18:4 have nothing to do with the false religion of the Antichrist. Separate from that system and its sinfulness. Have no fellowship with that system. Come out of her it means to withdraw from the activities of the beast system, New World Order. To refuse maybe promised luxuries. To refuse the conveniences that are set to trap you and to condemn this controlling system that they are trying to push and force into place over you to control you, okay, to enslave you. And that system we can see being set up rapidly with the tech, the facial recognition, the biometric scanning, the social credit systems, the cashless society, the EU the other day talking about measuring people's energy usage and introducing penalties. I mean, it's continuous. And that's really the situation, you know. Keep yourself from getting entangled in this system. Come out of it. Take your children out of these schools when they start, especially when they start treating them like inmates in a prison. Because if they are treating them like inmates in a prison, maybe it's because they actually are now prisoners. As always, thanks for listening. Come and subscribe to HugoTalks.com and I'll see you later.